Hey, what's up? What's up? It's D Hustle here. I'm here to talk about the fundamentals of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies today. Starting with Bitcoin, fundamentals. So, think of Bitcoin as like like uTorrent or like torrents, how it's like everyone has the file and then everyone downloads it from the same person. So think of Bitcoin kind of like that. It's a decentralized network that can't be shut down. Because if it could be shut down, the government would already shut it down, just like torrents. And so it's based off a proof of work concept where you use like computing power to mine blocks, and the miners verify transactions on the network, right? So the miners do all the dirty work, and they get rewarded for it. They get rewarded by the minting of new bitcoins. So every 10 minutes, there's a new block created, and in that new block is 12 right now. As of right now, it's 12 and a half bitcoins created, plus the mining fees that are in that block, and that's what the miners get rewarded. And it's so difficult nowadays that people team up and join pools to do it. So you'll join a pool, and when that specific pool finds a block, then you get when that pool finds a block, they split it with everybody. So, and that's the best way to do it right now because it's so difficult to do it unless you can set up, a whole like warehouse of ASIC rigs to do it. So that's the mining portion. That's how that works. So we need miners to run the network. They verify the network. They keep the network up. All the transactions are straight peer to peer. There's no middleman. The network takes care of all that, and they get rewarded for it. So there's no like banks. There's none of that. And you can't turn off Bitcoin. To turn off Bitcoin, you'd have to have every miner stop mining. Every miner in the world stop mining. As long as there's one miner mining, there can never be no Bitcoin. There's always going to be Bitcoin. And the more miners that join the Bitcoin network, the harder the difficulty gets. So, and it has to be like that because if the difficulty didn't get harder, then people could just mine up all the Bitcoins. They could buy all this computing power and mine up all the Bitcoins. So, as more people join, that increases the difficulty, and the difficulty readjusts to maintain that 10-minute block time. It's always going to be right around the 10-minute block time. Because if it was anything more, or if it didn't readjust, we'd mine all the Bitcoins. And as it stands right now, all the Bitcoins are going to be mined, I believe, like 2140, something like that. Every 4 years, the Bitcoin reward cuts in half. So in May 2020, the reward for a block is going to go to 6.25 Bitcoins. Right now, it's 12.5 Bitcoins. And every 4 years, that gets cut in half, which increases demand because the miners are getting less reward. It started with 50. So when Bitcoin came out, the reward was 50 Bitcoins per block. And at that point, when it came out, you could just pull up your laptop and start mining, and you're getting it, But it ain't like that no more. Now it's so hard. We gotta team up and join pools to do it. So it started at 50. And then it went to 25, and then from 25 it went to 12 and a half, is which we're at right now. And then 2020 of May, I think right around May 2020, I believe that's what it is. It's gonna go to 6.25. 4 years from there, it's gonna get cut in half again. 4 years from there, it's gonna get cut in half again. So the reward for mining gets cut in half every 4 years, which will increase the demand. Not immediately, so it's not gonna immediately happen like right when the halvening, they call it a halvening, right when that happens. That doesn't mean like, oh, we're just gonna get this instant increase in the price, but give or take around that time it's gonna happen. Like price will adjust to that. And it's completely decentralized. This network is completely decentralized. Like you can't just turn it off. You can't just shut down Bitcoin. It's not gonna happen. Like you'd have to shut down, like I said, every miner. I know I'm kind of disordered, but I'm just kind of trying to give the fundamentals of Bitcoin and how it works. Um, What else we got in here? What can happen is there's a 51 there can be a 51% attack. And what a 51% attack is where 51% of the if someone controls 51% of the network, they can create what's called a hard fork. And that's where so we have one chain, one blockchain with all the transactions. And if there's a if someone changes the code and they own 51% of the network, then it'll split the chain. There's like a disagreement, so there'll be two chains, and that's how, like the rapper, two chains. No, but that's how Bitcoin Cash was created. Was there was basically a hard fork. There was a disagreement on the network and the code moving forward, and they split, and that's how you got Bitcoin Cash and you got Bitcoin. Speaking of that, Bitcoin Cash just recently split again to Bitcoin SV, so that split again. I don't necessarily support or condone Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin SV, but that's just my opinion. So that's kind of the fundamentals of Bitcoin. It can't be shut down. It's proof of work. So it takes computing power to run. It takes a lot of computing power now because the more people that join the mining network, the harder it is to mine, and that's how it balances out. Because if it didn't get harder, we'd mine up all the bitcoins, and it that wouldn't be ideal. Yeah. So that's kind of the fundamentals of Bitcoin. It's peer-to-peer, decentralized, and you can't even use like a regular computer nowadays to do it because it's so difficult to do. There's specific machines, specific computers just for mining bitcoins. I actually have some. I should have actually brought one over. I'm not mining right now because it's not profitable where I'm at. I live in Washington State, and I was mining, but it's not profitable right now with the price and the difficulty where it's at right now. So I had to cut it off. But that's kind of the fundamentals of Bitcoin, and it's a solid foundation, and it's a solid foundation for future cryptocurrencies. Like now we got Ethereum, which is considered a second generation cryptocurrency, and what Ethereum provided was it was like if you think of Bitcoin as just being like stupid, Ethereum's a little smarter. It has smart contracts. It has the ability to run more tokens on that network through that same proof of work algorithm, and so it has decentralized apps can run on Ethereum. So Ethereum's a lot smarter, and as long as it's decentralized in that same manner, where everything's split up, everyone has their own, everyone's mining, and as long as it's decentralized in that manner, it can't be shut down, and that's kind of what we need. In a financial system, we kind of need that decentralization because we can't rely on that one point of failure. If it's one point of failure, that's not good. And if there's one person at the top of the triangle just creating everything and doing what they want and creating the policy for the money, what say do we have in it? So that's kind of the fundamentals of Bitcoin. If there's anything you guys want to add in the comment section below, go ahead and drop any questions, comments, anything at all. I promise I'll reply to it. And yeah, I'm just trying to teach the newbies, man. Trying to get more people in on this because this is the future. In my next video, I'm going to talk about why we need cryptocurrency and all the things, all the securities it can provide, and why exactly we need blockchain, because it's definitely a necessity, and I'm going to talk about that in the next video. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video if this was informative for you. Tell your friends about it. Drop a comment below. I will reply to you. Have a good one. D Hustle out.